has a real chance. This is it, come on. 45 seconds. Yes!
You scratched my head. That was a big mistake.
I'm just gonna watch this. Damage taken 13,594 out of 2,000 or less. If I took 2,000 or less, then I would have met the requirement for that rank. So basically, of course, if you meet none of the requirements, none of these 3 requirements, you get a C rank. If you meet one of them, you get a B. If you meet 2, like I just did, you get an A. And if you meet all 3, you get an S rank, which is the best rank. But I took so much damage, and the thing is, the reason I took so much damage is because damage doesn't reset between, like, when you retry from a checkpoint, or in this case, the checkpoint is just the beginning of the level. So when you retry, all of your damage that you took stays, even when you retry. So retrying doesn't get rid of any damage that you took. So basically, I've been retrying this, let's see, I've been recording for an hour and 18 minutes, basically. So I've been trying this for that long, and I've just constantly been retrying attempt after attempt. So I've taken so much damage in failed attempts and things that I'm at 13,594 damage. But 45 seconds, that new strategy that I used is kind of thing. I was just experimenting with stuff. I think on January 2nd, I tried to get the world record in this stage, and I experimented with various things, and like I even tried experimenting with like upgrading, with like trying to get another upgrade combo immediately on knockout instead of waiting for them to kind of like drive around a bit and then hit them. That doesn't really work though. Knockout gets invincibility mid, like, combo, like, for some reason it's doing that, so it doesn't work. But this new strategy I came up with in this session within the last, hour or so. I was just kind of messing around with different stuff. The normal strategy that I used before this to get my 49-second world record, which is what it was before this, so I just beat my world record by 4 seconds. And whenever I beat this world record again, like the one that I just got, it'll be a sub 45-second time. That is a massive milestone in this game, because this is actually the only level in the game to be possible to beat in under 1 minute, at least currently. There's not many other levels that have much of a chance, but level 11 probably has the best chance, because it's, like, I haven't uploaded the footage yet, but it's, even though I've had it like 2.5 years, but the world record in level 11 is a 1 minute and 9 second time. That's still a good 10 seconds away, but there's a chance that it could be possible in under a minute. Not sure about any other levels. Level 9 and level 12 are at 1 minute and 15 seconds and 1 minute and 14 seconds, although they don't feel quite as likely as level 11. But I'm not going to say they're impossible to be done under a minute, because I don't know for certain, but they seem a lot less likely, but there's always potential. And then finally, level 5 is the only other level even under 2 minutes, and it is at 1 minute and 27 seconds, which is pretty far away. I think under 1 minute and 20 seconds is possible. Under 1 minute seems like, again, pretty far out to be possible. Other than that, though, there's not really any levels that are even close. And really, level 5 isn't even that close either. Really, none of the levels are that close to sub 1 minute, except for level 11's kind of close, because it's only 10 seconds, but 10 seconds is also a lot in a level that's only like 70 seconds long. Or well, basically, not quite. So yeah, 45 seconds though, that is a massive time. And the most massive thing is going to be sub 45 seconds. Whenever I get that, that's an insane time. Because that might be the lowest, like, 15-second barrier possible to break in the entire game, right? because this is the shortest level in the whole game. So a sub 45 would be crazy. Past that, the only 15-second barrier is lower than that, or 30 seconds and 15 seconds. 15 seconds, I think I can say with near certainty, unless there were somehow like an insane glitch in this game that no one's discovered yet, there's probably no real chance of sub 15. Sub 30 seconds is quite a stretch too, but honestly, the strategy I used here, I'm not sure that I can't tweak it some more and change it and save even more time with it. So I'm not sure that, I'm not 100% certain that something like a sub 30 second time is completely impossible. And that would be an absolutely just unthinkable milestone for this game, to have a level under 30 seconds. But really, I'm not gonna be too sure about that just yet. The feasibility of that. Sub 45 seconds is definitely possible. Sub 40 seconds, I believe, is also possible. Past that, I don't know about much. But sub 40 might be the last 10-second barrier for individual levels. Or like for like the lowest 10-second barrier on any level in this game, possibly. Sub 45 seconds on any level is crazy. This level is gonna be there at some point. Sub 40 seconds. This level probably almost certainly can go under 40 seconds. Well, I'm not gonna almost certainly. I probably can. I think I might have to tweak the strategy even more though, and I'm not sure how to improve on it. But I just kind of randomly improved it today, so who knows? I could improve it randomly some other time. But yeah, sub 45 is definitely possible. This could have been a sub 45 actually, if knockout. I didn't quite move in the right way. You have to move like really specifically for stuff to work in this level and in some of the levels in this game. Like, you have to be very particular. This level in particular actually is like, I think, the most drastic example of it. You have to move in like not exact, but like very specific ways to make knockout do the right things. It's like very much based off of like how you move, what direction you move, like when you start to move in a direction, and like when you shoot knockout, when you don't shoot knockout. Mostly when you shoot, I think. I mean, there's like, I know how it works, but to someone just viewing this casually, they probably wouldn't, almost certainly they wouldn't recognize just how intricate it is. I never really thought about it, but this game is kind of beautiful with how intricate it is. I mean, I kind of thought in the past that this game isn't super complicated because it doesn't have any crazy glitches or anything, but it has some rather specific stuff you have to do. Like, I mean, you have to do specific attacks in specific orders to be optimal, and then, of course, and then you have to, like, but in this level especially, you have to, like, move, like, at, like, specific times and in specific ways at specific angles and stuff to be optimal. So that's honestly crazy. But yeah, so the main time save, I'm not quite sure. I think the main time save, I think I know pretty much where all of it came from. The main time save, is from basically the strategy I used in my 49-second world record, which that was a huge milestone in and of itself because it was a sub 50-second time, which is crazy. But my best before that, I think, was 52 seconds. And then I got a 49-second world record back in, like, 2022, I guess. And that was an incredible time. But yeah, so essentially, the original, not the original, but the strategy that I used in my 49-second world record was do an alternate combo, which is basically the one where Bumblebee does 3 punches. instead of the normal, like the default combo, like the normal one, if you just press the attack button repeatedly, or I guess if it's the Wii version, if you shake the Wii remote over and over, or I guess you can also play with Wii remote and nunchuck on the Wii U version, which is what I'm playing on right now. But basically, if you attack, if you just like do normal attacks, then Bumblebee does a punch, another punch, and then like a backflip kick. But the alternate combo is punch punch and then like kind of like a, I guess, a really like wound up punch, I guess. So it's like basically just 3 punches back to back. And the strategy I used in my 49-second world record was basically shooting at knockout in between all the combos and stuff. And you have to like not shoot too much because then knockout will go into a shield if you shoot them too much. But you also have to shoot enough to do enough damage to where you'll be able to finish knockout off with the attacks. Because if you don't get enough shots in, then knockout won't be finished off by your the vehicle melee attack at the end. And you'll have to wait for them to get up, which takes a couple seconds and loses time. So you have to get enough shots in to avoid that situation. And to be able to just finish knockout with the vehicle melee attack. But the normal strategy is basically triple punch combo, then punch punch kick, then triple punch again, then punch punch kick. So basically it's alternate default, alternate default. That was the strategy. It was basically start with the alternate combo for the first combo, then the second combo is the default, the third is alternate again, and the fourth is default again. So it basically was just alternating like that, in that order. And then, you know, beyond having to shoot and do specific timings on movement and stuff, like, not like somewhat general specific timings, I don't know. But, like, you have to move specific ways, basically. But beyond that stuff, then, of course, after those combos, you run up to knockout, do 2 punches, upgrade, do, you know, just, like, the normal default upgrade combo, like the full combo. And then from there, you kind of, ideally, I guess, move in a specific way to get knockout to kind of start shooting more quickly instead of driving around and having to transform, like it, which takes a second, which, that actually happened in this attempt. Knockout, like, kind of, I meant to get knockout to pretty much immediately, like, instead of driving, to go up against the left wall and start shooting at me. And then knockout would shoot twice, since I would get close to them, which would make them try to, like, melee attack me, sort of. It just depends. Like, the way sometimes that's the case, sometimes it isn't. It just depends how you play the level, I guess. But in this case, that would have been what would have happened if I had done it properly, or at least the way I was intending, which I guess is technically the proper way if I want to be faster. But doing that would have made knockout almost immediately, once they got to the left side of the arena, start shooting. They would have shot twice. I would have done an upgrade combo, and they would have been close enough to the wall when I did the combo to where, like, we would have both been close enough to the wall, where I would have been able to, after finishing the combo, hit them with an upgrade shot, but specifically only one of the 2 upgrade shots, because Bumblebee shoots 2 shots at a time. Hitting both knocks knockout down into a spiral, basically. After a combo, anyway. Basically, 2 shots knocks the opponent down. If both upgrade shots land, it's only 1 shot, but it's like a double shot, basically, I guess, you know? And so, because every shot that Bumblebee does is a double shot. And so, I need only one of them to hit. Because one of them hitting doesn't knock knockout down, it just kind of... Knockout's already getting knocked down from my upgrade combo, basically. But then, if both of the shots hit, knockout would just, you know, get hit by the shots and then keep falling, basically. But if only one hits, it kind of stuns knockout and makes them stand back up immediately as they're falling. And so they land, and they're standing up instead of having been knocked down and having to stand back up again. So you saw it at the end there, I guess. Everyone could see I did that. It just was on the right side of the arena instead of the left, and I had to wait for Knockout to kind of drive around a bit before doing it. Basically, the gist of it is, I would have done the same thing, but I would have been able to do it sooner and on the left side of the arena. It being on the left doesn't matter, it's just that it's sooner, basically. And it being sooner means Knockout doesn't drive around as much, so they end up on the left side of the arena when I would start the combo if I did it optimally. So yeah, that would have probably saved a couple seconds. I don't know. I guess I can look back at the footage to see how many seconds it would have saved. I imagine 2 or 3 seconds could have been saved with that though. So it could have been like a 43 or even a 42-second world record if I had done slightly better at the ending there. But I am not complaining at all. I'm very happy with this. I mean, that's incredible. Oh yeah, and also another crucial thing is, if I do get the stun like I did here, with landing only one of the 2 upgrade shots, the knockout, when I knock them down with my second combo, which is actually, since upgrade, it actually is pretty convenient now that I think about it. The upgrade runs out at just the right time, basically. Yeah, it runs out right then. So basically I can do a normal, punch, backflip kick combo. And then the convenient thing is, when you do the moves in that way, like I did, Knockout will not transform immediately upon hitting the ground. Because if you're playing the game more normally, and more casually, or even if I mess up in the speedrun, then Knockout can can instantly transform upon hitting the ground and then drive away, and you have to basically catch up and wait for Knockout to stop moving and stuff to hit them. But obviously the way I did it, with the specific manner that I did it in, that never happens. Knockout always stays down, and I can go in, while Knockout is down, I can go in for the vehicle melee attack to finish them off. So yeah, that's the strategy. And I mean, a fun thing though is, of course, the player can also do that, where if they press the transform button right when they're hitting the ground, they can instantly transform instead of having to hit the ground and wait to stand back up. And there's actually a name for it. You get an emblem for doing it, I believe, 3 times or more in a level. And the emblem is called Master of Defense from Change Formation, I believe. And the move is called, when you transform immediately upon hitting the ground, there's actually a name for it, and it's called the Defensive Change Formation. That's the name of the move. So it's interesting. I never really thought about it. I'm not sure if I ever, maybe I haven't noticed it before, but I'm not sure I've ever really super consciously thought about the fact that the opponents in the later levels can actually, the bosses in later levels, like this one, level 10, the last knockout fight of the 2 fights, they can actually do the defensive change formation, which is pretty interesting. I don't believe that they can do it can Knockout always do it? Wait, can Knockout 1 do defensive change formation? I think that Knockout 1 maybe can. I can't remember which bosses can do it and which bosses can't. Can they all technically do it depending on how you play them? I'm not sure. But anyway, it's a pretty cool thing. But yeah. So, I mean, I guess I've been talking for 15 minutes or something on a 45-second world record. It's a bit excessive, but I think the people that actually decide that they enjoy listening to me ramble for 15 minutes on a results screen, I don't know how many people that is, but the people that actually are interested in listening to that, I guess they'll hear me talk about the strategy somewhat in depth. So that's pretty good. You also kind of just have to get a feel for this stuff. Like, it's just really specific stuff you've got to do, you know? But anyway, so I feel like I had something else to say, but I don't know. I don't know. Interestingly, I guess I can say something else here. The DS version of the game is kind of its own completely separate game. The DS version of the game is interesting because it actually has more total levels that are under 1 minute. Currently, levels 10, 11, and 12 are under 1 minute. The world record in the DS version for level 10, the same level that I just got the world record on, in the DS version, it's actually slower. The world record is 58 seconds. Although, I don't know what a perfect run of the DS version's level 10 would look like. I mean, I imagine it would basically be the same as the world record, but just, you know, the same strategy, but just better, because in the DS version, Bumblebee, you basically just always do projectile shooting, and you very rarely do melee attacks. And so the entire battle is basically just shooting knockout over and over. But yeah, it can definitely be beaten faster. I don't know how much faster though. Levels 11 and 12, the world record is 55 seconds. Both of them have 55-second world records, actually. I think they can both be beaten in under 50 seconds, though. I don't know how much faster beyond that they can be beaten. And then there actually are a couple other levels that can definitely be beaten, or almost certainly can be beaten in under a minute. Level 9, the current world record is 1 minute and 2 seconds, but even the world record that I got, if I just did the same stuff but slightly better, I could have gotten the sub 1 minute time, I think. So, level 9 definitely could go under a minute. Level 5 is currently a world record 1 minute and 3 seconds, so I'm fairly sure that it could go under a minute as well. I think that's it though, right? Because that's 5 out of the... No, isn't there one more? Let's see, level 6. Level 6, the world record is actually the only world record I've ever had beaten up so far is my level 6 world record in the DS version of the game. My world record was 1 minute and 26 seconds, and I was thinking, you know, maybe a few seconds faster. Sub 1 minute and 20 seconds is probably not super likely, so in my mind, saving 7 seconds was not likely. One of the former world record holders, Palanxi, they actually were they just decided to get the world record again, and not only did they beat my time, they beat it by 17 seconds. I still need to get that record back. I can't, it's really funny that I haven't yet. It's pretty funny. But yeah, 1 minute and 9 seconds, that's insane. And because of the nature of how Bumblebee works in the DS version, how the faster you press the shoot button, because shooting is different in DS. In the other 3 versions of the game, you know, the Wii version, the Wii U version, and the 3DS version, of course I'm playing on Wii U here, the non-DS versions are all practically the same game, you know? They're all effectively identical, pretty much. They're all pretty much effectively identical, you know? And in those versions, I guess these versions, shooting, you hold down the button and it automatically shoots, and you double tap and hold it if you want to charge a charge shot. DS is different. In DS, you hold the button to charge a charge shot, and you press the button repeatedly to shoot. The thing about that is that Bumblebee can shoot so fast that you essentially just have to spam the Y button to shoot as fast as you possibly can. The faster you press it, the faster you shoot, basically. And of course, the faster you shoot, the faster you deal damage. So it's basically just a matter of spamming the button as fast as possible in the Bumblebee levels on DS. And so I really don't know what the limits are, how fast you can spam. You know, I don't know like what's the fastest you can shoot, but I think that there's potential for even though it's 10 seconds away. I think sub 1 minute on level 6 in the DS version might be possible. So literally 6 out of the 13 levels can very likely be beaten. 3 of them for sure. The other 3 possibly can be beaten in under a minute on DS. So 6 out of 13. That's pretty much as close as you can get to half the levels in the game. 6 or 7 are equally close to half the levels. So practically half the levels in the DS version might be able to be beaten under a minute, which is very different from the non-DS versions, where it only one level so far, level 10 here, Dangerous Vantage, is the only level that can be beaten in under a minute. Of course, it's kind of funny that even though the DS version has more levels under a minute and the levels in the DS version are typically shorter, it's funny that the non-DS versions actually hold the shortest level in any version, because it's the non-DS versions of level 10 are this is the shortest level, and it is this version of the level. So non-DS level 10 basically. I just find that funny. I don't know. Anyway, I apologize to people for this, like, rambling for so long. I mean, to me it's interesting, and I'm sure that there might be a few other people that find it interesting, but I'm not sure how many people are really going to stick around for all of this. But yeah, so I would be interested to know if anyone stuck around for all of this. Like, if anyone wants to tell me if they stuck around for all of it, that would be interesting to know. But yeah, how long have I been rambling? Like 25 minutes. Gosh. Okay, this is a 45-second world record, and the video is going to be like 26 minutes, 27 minutes long. That's so silly. Anyway, yeah, so I guess I'm very happy with this, though. 45 seconds is an insane... Even getting exactly 45 seconds is quite a milestone. Sub 45 seconds is going to be possibly... If sub 40 isn't possible, then I suppose that this... I think sub 40 is probably doable. If sub 30 isn't possible, then sub 45 is possibly the biggest individual level milestone pretty much of all time, because of how fast it is. It's like the shortest, like the quickest any level can be beaten. So sub 45 seconds will be like the most insane milestone in this game for individual level speedrunning. I feel like sub 40, if it's possible, could be potentially, I guess one could say, just as big or maybe bigger, since it is faster. Anything beyond that, not really sure. But about the potential for it. But yeah, I'm very excited about this. I was not expecting when I started the session to beat my world record by 4 entire seconds. Like 1 second. That's what I was looking for, not 4. This is exciting. Okay. I'm gonna end the recording now because this has been going on for a lot of talking. But yeah, so regardless of whether people listen to all of this rambling or not, thank you for watching. And if you did listen to all of this rambling, then extra thank you for watching and listening to me just talk on a silent results screen for almost half an hour. Here. Yeah, okay, so there we go. Amazing. I am very happy about this. Goodbye, everyone.